Good evening, everyone. Welcome to planning on evening of the 19th of August, 26. Summer's going past quickly. Duncan, apologies.
The only apologies are from Councillor North this evening.
Okay, right.
That's the only one I'm aware of. If anybody else
wishes
to add anything to that, but that's all I've heard.
I don't know of any others. Interests. Mine will be biscuits tonight. We do have one interest, but that'll come up as and when. We have no members of the public in the gallery. Minutes. Got the draft minutes from. When are they from?
5th of August.
5th of August, thank you. Yeah, it says on there. 5th of August, I'm happy to propose them. Seconder? All those in favour? You abstaining, Nick?
Abstain.
Yeah, you weren't here. Fair enough. I'll sign those off in a minute. Brilliant, thank you. Matters arising from the minutes, anyone? No? Brilliant. Open session for electors. As I said, we haven't got anyone in the gallery, but if we've got bags of mail that have come in.
There's one piece of correspondence, but we're going to deal with that later. That's
right.
through the Watergate Base sprint.
Right, okay, yeah, we can do that.
We had an inquiry this afternoon about somebody who wishes to come to the next meeting and quite probably will. But other than that, the inbox has been quiet.
Okay. Yeah, because they're probably not electors, are they? So it'll be later on. Right, active consultations. So I love this, the Western Arm. It sounds like a pub name, doesn't it? The Great Western Arm. Right, at Nance Ledden, an update on that, please, Duncan.
Yeah, so this is a consultation that's been and gone. Let's see, so this was, the western arm of Nance Ledden. I've not got the map, so I've not got it to bring up, unfortunately. But back in June last year, this committee subjected an objection to this scheme.
Somebody banging on the door.
Oh. However, you had effectively sought to simply extend the conversation at the time as you didn't feel able to support the proposed measures without a fuller understanding of the overall scheme. It was that one that's just at the end of the strategic route, and they were putting traffic calming pillows in. Anyway, the update is, we'll get there eventually, the update is that Town Council has been advised that following the installation of the works, the associated traffic regulation order has been sealed and became enforceable on the 1st of August. Okay. I know that's not exactly groundbreaking news, but...
Why do you object to it? Because it seems fairly harmless.
Because we wrote back to them because we didn't feel that, we felt that there was some detail that we either were not aware of, or we needed a little bit more information, which they duly supplied, and we were duly supportive from that point onwards.
Okay, yeah, stuff's not donging up on mine now either. So we're going to be playing this a bit blind, everybody who's watching. We do now have members in the gallery. Have you come to speak?
No.
For a particular application?
Sorry?
Have you come for a particular application? Do you want to speak about a particular?
No, we're not going to speak now. We're just in a matter of interest.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
What, generally, or a specific?
No, it's for one of the plans. For Listy Road, I think it is, under. Listy Road, town line, number 3.
Number 3.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I propose that we bring that up the agenda then.
I'll second.
All those in favour? There we go. Right. Is that list 2 or list 1? Duncan, I can't remember.
That's list 2. That's,
it is list 2,
that's
right.
discussion. That's the one land west of 19 Agar Road. The access is from Listry Road.
Yeah. Right.
While we do
no,
absolutely fine.
Okay, I'm doing it.
Ducks in a row.
So this is a list 2 application for discussion. So it's all changed format. Duncan, over to you. I think if we can. It's the third one.
Application 3.
Yeah, application. Yeah. PA 26/04665, land west of 19 Agar Road, Listry Road in Newquay. Construction of a 1.5-storey self-built dwelling and associated parking and landscaping.
I'll just find my notes.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so just to give you an idea whereabouts in the town we are, it's the red pointer there. We'll have a look at the location stroke block plan first. I'm just going to make that a little larger. We could do that not being there, couldn't we? Put that over there. Okay, so you may have heard us saying it's the application address is land west of 19 Agar Road, but as you can see, we've got the access to this property. It's currently vacant site, so the access will be via Listry Road. We can see the street view for that access. So yeah, so this is the view from Listry Road, and this will be the access. The application site, or the development site, is effectively on the other side of these brown gates. I think actually I might just dive back to the overhead. I don't normally do this, but we'll dive back to the overhead just because there's a reasonable chance that we can actually see the probably a slightly old image, but that we can see the green plot in question. So it's this one right in the front of the right in the middle of the screen there. Okay, and that's the access running up there.
I'm right, you can't see that from the public area.
Isn't that the wrong one? Isn't it the one to the right of that?
Yeah, I think that might be right.
Oh, sorry, just let me check.
It's-
Sorry,
it's-
I've written.
it's this
You're
one
quite
here.
right. I've written green plot. And I was looking for something green, but it's not.
It's
Yeah.
this green. It's
It's this one with the It's this one with the outbuildings. Yeah.
It's in here. There's the lane that comes up this way. This one.
It's not.
It's that one. Oh well, yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
the
sorry,
shape-
it's
the shape
just-
is
yeah.
it's in there, isn't it?
Yeah. Sorry. Just to be clear.
Yeah.
We're here. This
Yeah.
space here. Sorry about that.
That's all
I
right.
should just have left.
Am
it
I
alone,
right
to
in
be
thinking you
honest.
can't actually see this from the public realm, or?
Yeah, we'll go back to the we'll go back to Plan A and have a look from the. So this would be the access from Listry Road. From Agar Road, all you can see is the frontages of those houses, number 19, number 17, etc. Right, we'll have a look at the existing and proposed block plans, which is nice because they're all on one document. I'm going to make these quite a lot larger. Does that need to be rotated?
No.
No, that's fine. Right, so that's our existing. You've got the access from Listry Road marked there. So this is the plot. This is number 19 on the in that right-hand corner, and that's sort of unremarkable because all it's got is an existing shed in it at the moment. The proposed block plan then sees the footprint of the property. Parking and turning area and amenity space. Okay. As I say, the vehicular access is down here. Pedestrian access would be as well. Okay. A nice thing about these new houses is that we don't have to worry about existing elevations too much. So we've got a set of proposed elevations. I'll just make those. I'll just very quickly go through these. So top left, that's the south elevation. That's facing the access lane, sort of looking in the direction of the rear of numbers 1 and 3 Listry Road.
Sorry, which one? The top left?
Top left, yeah.
Right.
The north, the one beneath it, bottom left, that's facing towards the rear garden of 17 Agar Road. The west then faces towards the rear garden, or looks vaguely in the direction of number 5 Listry Road, and the east facing, I've got it here as facing 19 Agar Road. You'll note that the windows are generally placed at ground floor level. First floor rooms benefiting from the roof lights on the north and south elevations of the pitched roof. There's only one vertical window, which is on the east elevation. That's the one that's facing what I would term the host property, if you like, number 19. And that's serving the stairs and landing, and the design includes obscured glass for that one, okay?
The side that is facing, presumably the two houses, are they on Listry Road or Agar Road? I'm a bit lost here. No, it's on Agar Road, isn't it? Are the window, which side of those is facing those two houses?
So I think that's
That
the
side.
So
That side, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Has a window just serving the stairs and landing, and it's obscure glass to maintain the privacy of the nearby properties. We'll have a look at the roof and floor plans. I'll just make this slightly larger. Ground floor, you've got the main habitable rooms plus one bedroom. First floor, you've got the bathroom, office and landing, and a master bedroom. The roof plan, I think it's this way, yeah, shows the roof lights and south-facing voltaic panels. That is your application. It's over to you.
Okay, thank you. So for us to start off on that, what's the distance between the back of the house on Agar Road, and the side of the new build in terms of outlook that's going to be?
Right, just bear with me.
So effectively it's a one-bedroom bungalow with another half floor on the top of the second
Yeah.
bedroom, is that it?
Yeah, but I just want to see, because it has almost house height, so we're just...
Might be worth looking, just going back to the. I think it's going to be. It's quite close. It's quite close. So it is going to be. It is going to be difficult for me to measure on the Google Maps.
What's the scale of these boxes, Duncan? Can you remember? Are they 100 metres?
Cool. Now you're asking.
She's got a sea circle.
They could be looking the other way.
I don't think they're right.
No, I
Grid
don't.
squares, aren't they? They're based on degrees and minutes.
Yeah, I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to assist with that. Let's just have a very quick go again with this. So if we're looking, let's see, looking roughly here. I mean, You are talking, I think, probably less than 10 metres.
Okay, so it's something to bear in mind then in terms of the outlook of the property here.
Yeah.
And maybe the property from over here as well. And in terms of shadowing, so even though it's only 1.5 stories tall, we did seem to have a height on this as to whether that's going to cause, because it's south of this property, whether it's going to cause shadowing. So it could be worth you putting that in statement to planning officer when we consider that. Is there anything about drainage on site there, Duncan?
No, I didn't see anything referring to the drainage.
Okay.
I've got nothing in my notes anyway.
Is there anything to do with recycling and bin facilities as to, because they're going to, I imagine, have to take the rubbish down the lane? So it'll be going on the pavement, I presume. I don't know, there's nothing.
Let's just have a look. Yeah, quite possibly. Not an unusual thing, to be honest. Actually, that's what the neighbours will be doing anyway.
And those 3 trees, do we know if they're coming down, have come down?
They appear to be. They appear to still be in place.
Yeah. Okay, so we're making an assumption about that.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I've seen nothing that says that. I didn't see anything that said that they would come down.
Right.
They appear on both block plans. Ask the question of the officer if we're uncertain.
Right, Joanna.
I'm just looking at the documents, and there is actually quite an interesting neighbour amenity statement where they swear blind that there's no problem. They're sort of talking about the windows. Generally, the windows are obscure if they're looking anywhere near it. I think the problem may be the outlook, as you say, but
It's the outlook from the neighbours.
I don't think there's anything going the other way, isn't it?
No,
And
I'm
it's
not worried about that.
it's probably okay. I would say it's probably okay, but it's worth querying with the planning officer.
How much amenity space is left with the neighbouring property now? Do we know?
So Agar Road is left mainly with front and side spaces because it is
Their back garden.
It is the back garden.
Yeah.
It is that there are many instances throughout the application where the term vacant plot is used to describe the application site, such as a proposal makes sufficient use of a vacant plot. The applicant for this current application is Mr. Old. In 2021, Mr. Old was also the applicant for proposals that were approved for a householder application for number 19. So I wasn't quite certain whether vacant plot came into it. I didn't see any explanation as to why it was a vacant plot and not currently a back garden.
Wait, yeah, I mean...
There may be explanation in there that I've
very
missed.
large for a back garden.
I mean, there's also, when we scan out, of course, then there's, the concern of this is going to be a precedent for people putting stuff in their back gardens. So that, I'm sorry, we gave the opportunity to speak, and it would have been really helpful because we could have asked these questions to you. So I'm sorry, we can't take them. Yeah. So.
As you can see from the blue line site, this is land still. You've got the red line site, which obviously accommodates the new build. The blue line means that's land in the ownership of the applicant, just so that we're aware. And you can sort of gauge for yourself the amenity space that number 19 would be left with. Obviously, these plots have all got, well, quite a lot of them have got quite generous back gardens. So.
Joe?
Yeah, I'm just trying to work out the history of how this plot has come about. So the blue line, I'm assuming, is what you referred to earlier as the host building.
Sorry, what
the blue line site, the one which is at Agar Road, that's the previous building, the host. So
that's
the host property.
Right. So once upon a time, both you would have been looking at. the whole site,
Yeah.
blue line and red line combined as one plot, if you like.
And so am I to
it's-
assume that the access, the alleyway there, that has been acquired and somehow in the history of this property, and it is now owned by the application?
It is in the red line site, and I haven't seen anything that contradicts that.
So, house then on Agar Road with Sophie is that has lost its garage and off-road parking and alleyway. So it hasn't got any, doesn't appear to have any parking or anything. Yeah, I think, yeah. But we haven't, have we got it as the new build, or have they just put one in? Yeah, it's where that white van is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Helpfully.
Yeah, it is.
So-
So it's this property here. So
Yeah.
So it's there is on street. I mean, it doesn't look like it's
Well, there's
conditioned or anything. So it's on street parking there.
So yes, I mean hopefully there's no new drive going up because it's going across the verge and it looks like it could be up. There's a small slope there and a tree here. So, but obviously this is out of date, isn't it? Because isn't this now a new build? I don't know.
No, it is. What a new build? 19.
Yeah.
No. There was
It's still the same.
There was just a householder application.
Oh, okay.
In 2021.
Okay.
It was just it was
Okay.
sort of kind of quite a modest addition to the property.
Any other comments from anyone?
Your concern basically is that there might have, the existing house might have lost a bit of amenity.
Well, I did wonder because I mean
No,
the scales, because I think it's quite a large property. Now
Yeah.
I've been actually quite. It looks like a large site, but when you're looking at it from the front there, it's not necessarily.
So if it's
I'm a little bit concerned that it's setting a precedent. You know that neighbours could do like this one, for instance. Could then put an alleyway at the side of the house, knock down its garage, and then have a new dwelling in its backyard. That we do need to be aware this is going to be a precedent in this area that others can follow.
You have to have we would have to have such a good reason to object, especially with the latest MPPF. I mean, I think you could probably count this as walking distance of this.
So, do we have a proposer for anyone from this?
Well, because we've got some questions, I think we're sort of, so I would say no objection, subject to obviously the amenity of the host house not being detrimentally affected.
Yeah.
And the planning officer can come back and reassure us on that.
Can we add on that then that the outlook's not impacted from
that's the amenity and outlook.
amenity outlook and shadowing for whatever number this one is here, shadowing that way. Well, we don't have any. We don't have.
Both the host house and the neighbouring properties.
Yeah. Yeah. Karen?
Yeah, can I just ask, is there anybody objecting to this?
No.
We've got. I looked sort of latish this afternoon, and there were no comments.
No. Sorry, you were proposing that, weren't you? Seconder? Second. All those in favour? And I'm objecting on this one for the President one. Can we also
So just to be clear, the comment I'm going to return is just no objection, subject to the no harm to the residential amenity of either number 19, the host dwelling, or neighbouring properties. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing more complex than that.
And
Specifically overlooking outlook
And shadowing, and overshadowing, and shadowing on that. Can we also put in then about G2? I know they've got solar voltaics on the roof, but all the other bits and bobs that go with it, and a drainage. You know, on site, it should be on-site drainage from runoff from the roof.
I'll note that
Yeah.
we weren't clear on what
Yeah.
the drainage plans were.
Okay, wonderful. You're very welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting, but okay.
You rarely do.
No, no. Need to bring some knitting and crochet. Wonderful. Right, I'm proposing to go back to our agenda. Seconder, all those in favour? Yeah, that's everyone, thank you. Oh, where was I? We did 7I, so the next one's licensing. The tiny tie.
Yeah, this is where Bunters used to be. Bunters Academy.
What's the address?
Have you got a spare copy of the agenda for the downstairs?
Do you want to use?
Yeah.
15C East Street.
Here we go.
There it is,
So
Bunters.
there you go. I wandered out onto the street and was trying to figure out which one 15C is, because it's very rare that these have got door numbers on and stuff, or if they have, they're so difficult to find. And I think the blue one there is 15, so I was really sort of flummoxed. But thankfully the Google vehicle last went down there a couple of years ago, and there we go.
It's the one in the middle, is it?
It's the one in the middle, yeah.
Yeah, the old Bunters.
I can't think what it is now. It's not been Bunters for a little while, but anyway, that's neither here nor there.
It's actually in Bunters Academy there.
It's what?
It's in, you see where the cafe is, Bunters, that's no longer there. It's this place.
Yeah, what I was saying was I'm not certain what replaced the cafe. Whatever it wasn't for long.
Oh, it was. Been there a long time.
No, you sorry, I'm complicating things. I'll just crack on with
It's
the.
now a Thai restaurant, judging by the name.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. My point is that when I walked up and down the street, I didn't see a Thai restaurant there yet. Okay. Unless I do walk around and miss things, to be honest, and a Thai restaurant wouldn't be the biggest thing that I've missed. Right. So they are. Let's have a look. They are looking at alcohol. Retail supply of alcohol on and off sales, and they are looking at regulated entertainment, which is recorded music indoors. One thing about, unless they are actually looking to have DJs playing in the Thai restaurant, they may have mistaken the fact that they're going to have maybe Thai music playing over the speakers. That is actually not a licensable activity in terms of the Licensing Act. It's incidental. You will be going there for the food, not for the sound of Thai music coming through the speakers. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So they have put regulated entertainment on there, but strictly speaking, whether it was or wasn't will probably not change the way the
12 to
premises
12.
operates.
Are they putting themselves at a disadvantage by doing that? Do we?
No.
I don't think so. I think it's one of those things that will be ironed out without the need for a full hearing. But it's
And they're closing at
Midnight.
yeah. So
12
the
to 12
opening hours would
every
be
day.
what they've done is they've put opening hours, off sales, and regulated entertainment all midday to midnight. So that is slightly problematic, because that doesn't build in the traditional 30 minutes drinking up time. However, I have had a conversation with the civilian police licensing officer. A representation has been put in. It's not seeking to prevent the operation of the premises. It's seeking to tidy up the application and bring it more in form. So,
Sorry, that's a representation. That's a representation from the police.
that's a representation from the police. As I say, you don't get objections in licensing, you get your representations. So they've put a representation in. So I'll quickly run through what she said. So, and a lot of these I think are what we would probably have come up with ourselves. So, a more robust challenge 25 condition. Police have asked for this. They have asked for an incident book and various records to be kept, training, challenge 25, any violent, criminal or antisocial behaviour. A lot of these are very similar to the conditions that were placed on the Piccolo Grande restaurant, which we looked at very recently, which is only a couple of doors down the way. Off sales in sealed containers, again the police have addressed that, and I believe that agreement has already been made. Agreement involves everybody saying yes, but it's I believe that the applicants are quite receptive to what the police have said. What else? I was slightly concerned that there was no late night refreshment on here. Now that's not something that the police would necessarily pick up on because they are more crime and disorder. They're finishing at midnight, so you could make the assumption, oh well, they will have served their last meal at 11:30 or 11 o'clock even. Hot food and drink becomes a licensable activity after 11 p.m. till 5 o'clock in the morning. They do have a non-standard timing, which on New Year's Eve, which takes them through to 2 o'clock in the morning. So if they were going to be serving food, they would definitely need late night refreshment. I think that's something that, if you were minded to, you could go back and say to licensing, we think that ought to be on here. I'd be surprised if we were the only people who'd said that, but it's not on the police representation. They've got outdoor tables, which, as you can see, I mean, were in place for a very long time. The arrangement is very much the same as was the case with the Piccolo Grande that we looked at recently, which was approved. Piccolo Grande had a condition placed on it that said, or they have an Annex 2 condition. I'm not certain if the applicant put this forward, quite possibly. The outside area will be controlled in a safe and effective manner to the same standard operated within the premises building, and special attention will be given to the impact that the use of the outside area has on the surrounding community. So that's another one. It's all I'm saying is it appears on another restaurant with a similar seating arrangement at the front, just a couple of doors down. There was also one more, was the disposal of bottles, collection of waste. This can be a very noisy affair, especially where residential properties are nearby, and I think you can see from upstairs there are people living above these properties. The disposal of glass bottles into external receptacles will not take place between 8 at night and 7 in the morning. That's a condition that also appears on the Piccolo Grande.
Sounds good.
So over to you.
Because I presume that they have a rear collection in the lane down the tram lines for waste and bins and things. I think they're all out the back, aren't they? Looking at the plan, it's got a back exit. The plan's got a back exit and a far exit as well at the back, and I presume, and the toilets are out the back as well. So I am presuming that there's a rear to the property with a gate, because you often see the wheelie bins, don't you, down the tram lines, and the waste cart must go down there. So we've got here and we've got here. The tables and selling alcohol thing, can we have reference to the Piccolo Grande in terms of I mean, I don't think we need to make representation, but I do have a concern that these areas don't have barriers on them. It's not like, you know, the Clover Club and they have the barriers around them. These are completely open. It's not a cafe selling, you know, eating a pasty and selling. It's very different to then bottles and glass being on these tables effectively on the pavement. And not being protected by barriers. And I do have as well about the visually impaired that they haven't got that. There's a phrase for it, isn't it? For those.
There is. Are they tap rails or something?
Tap
like
rails,
that?
thank you. Tap rails on the outside. And I would like to see that, to have it fenced off.
Well,
you know,
this is your opportunity to do so. As I say, it's not an objection. It's about, you know, certainly in the police's format, it's about making as good a premises licence as can be, and it is in a prominent position. So.
Because I mean, it does stick out into the pavement, and I'll see you in a minute, Nick. In terms of people walking up, and I know they have access to those front areas of their properties. But for the members of the public, you know, our pavements are becoming obstacle courses because they don't have designated barriers going around them. And I think it looks untidy. So I'd like that making as a comment. Right, Nick.
That one that you've just come up with, I think that's the reason why we do need to give representation. The couple of other things that Duncan's mentioned, I think we do.
And I think basically extra conditions, concern about the outside. I mean, it sounds like it's the sort of thing that we could all agree by a deal beforehand without going to committee.
I would expect these. I think this has happened with the police, to an agreement to be made, and it would be a hearing by documentation. So it's just a matter of emails go around. Everybody happy with this? Yeah, we're happy with it. That kind of thing. So just to recap, I'd mentioned the late night refreshment, because if they were to start serving people at 1 minute past, if somebody buys a meal at 1 minute past 11, they need to have that on their licence. And the other point was the disposal of or collection of bottle waste as well. So if you want to, you've obviously said that you'd like some sort of enclosure around the front. I noted that Piccolo Grande had done that themselves, although I don't think it was on the licence. But there's no harm in having it on a licence.
No, I mean,
absolutely not. Yeah, with the pavement licence, wasn't it?
I've got concerns about the takeaway aspect of it, because they're advertising as a takeaway, and, you know, takeaway and alcohol at 12 o'clock would concern me.
The alcohol is in sealed containers. I mean, you know, it may well be, in all likelihood, it may well be me popping up there at 11:30 after staggering out of an extremely long council meeting and going and buying a tie and a beer to take home with me.
We'll be there with you, I think.
I mean, there are. I think I'm being flippant. What I should say is it would be very difficult for a licence to be refused on those grounds, because but the Licensing Act has the mechanisms in place whereby, if that were to become a problem, it can be addressed under this legislation. If that's reassuring at all, Sandy.
Yeah, I mean, there are local residents upstairs as well with noise and late night opening as well, which I don't know. I don't think people have much of a say on it. Karen?
I think that I'll just chip in. I think that there is a condition that refers to encouraging people to leave in a quiet, maybe even signage as well, encouraging customers to leave in a quiet and respectful manner.
just had a concern with the seating outside, bearing in mind there are residents right above, upstairs. Obviously there's flats there, isn't there? And that blue door is the entrance to the flats, I would assume. So if people are eating outside and drinking outside, I mean, I just have a slight concern if they're starting their meal. Sorry, I'm just.
I need to provide you. I need to provide you with a snippet of information.
Yeah.
Outside tables will be closed for use after 11 o'clock. So beyond 11
Right,
o'clock,
so-
there wouldn't be anybody sat out
Right,
there.
that's what I was concerned about.
And that's got permission already. And they've obviously got.
I think it was a concern from 11 o'clock. If somebody was to rock up and say, I want a table for 8 people outside at 11.
Licensing terms, 11 o'clock at night, because it's the sort of the magic hour,
They'd
it's
have
the
to go
witching
in.
hour. Anything after 11 o'clock tends to get looked at with much more scrutiny.
And they'd be shown into the restaurant, wouldn't they? I suppose, if they wanted a table.
I'm going to propose that we make representation.
With all the points.
Seconder? Do you want all those in favour?
Could I have detail of what, so be very clear what the detail is?
You going to do it?
The after 11 one that you were saying about, the late night one,
Yeah, time.
the drinking up time.
We can mention that. That has been addressed by the police, but
Right.
we can mention that, of
The
course.
drinking up time. There's 3 or 4 that I thought of. The barriers, the tap rails.
The extra conditions that Poco Grande has.
Yeah, and the one that you come up with as well.
The glass.
Pardon?
Disposal of glass?
Disposal of glass and that other one,
The rubbish collection.
the rubbish collection,
Hours.
And the two that
Yes,
Poco Grande.
and the ones that Poco Grande have got.
The outdoor tables, it's some wording that, to be honest, it's just a reminder that they have to. Okay.
I wonder, Duncan, if we can find a way of phrasing this in a helpful tone, because
Absolutely.
I have a
100%. It won't come
make a
across
guess.
as a
I'm just going to make a guess
cross-objection
that
from councillors.
some aspects of this application were maybe a little bit naive, and they perhaps need guidance in order to get it across the line. And I think if we can do that, the police are in support as well. Yeah.
I can write it nicely, don't you worry. It's a slightly interesting plan. I think the idea is that you could, in that blue area, you could walk around with your electronic terminal and take payment. The white seating area, where they've said alcohol to be consumed, they don't actually need to do that because
So the pale blue then is where they can serve alcohol.
where they can make the sale.
I see, so that dark blue is erroneous then.
That dark blue is supposed to be the light blue. I had to look at it for a minute. And then the consumption of alcohol, as we all know, the consumption of alcohol isn't a licensable activity. It's the retail supply.
Are they naive? But the toilets are outside the premises, is what they're saying.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's
I'm going to go over it once more. Late night refreshment, 30 minutes drinking up time. an enclosed pavement area with tap rail. The disposal of glass being outside unsociable hours, and just some wording on the standard of operation expected for that outdoor area. We're all happy with that. That's what we're voting for. Have you had your show of hands? I didn't really see. I was looking at. That has already been done by the police, so I don't. I mean, it's up to you, but that has already been agreed.
Okay, no, it's not.
I've got nothing for you this evening. We'll do 16 4th Street because that one the deadline for that's tomorrow, so I'll do 16 4th Street tomorrow. I've also got one for 13 Well Way, which I'll get out to you tomorrow. I don't think I was here for that one, so I'm not certain what they were doing with that one. I'm not certain if that isn't another one where he wants to refuse it, but I think that you raised no objection, but I've literally just scanned.
There's nothing we argued with the officer about. There was
No.
agreed
But
to
anyway,
disagree.
I will send that out to you tomorrow. So that will be on the agenda for the next meeting, and then we have another non-material amendment for 7, the watermark down at the Glendorgal. This is the 3rd or 4th one, and I'll send that one out to everybody tomorrow as well. Okay, in the usual way, because the deadline for that is too short for it to make the agenda for the next meeting. Okay, so nothing to ratify, but you've got a bit of homework to do with a couple of these over the next sort of 5 days or so.
Brilliant. Impact on the neighbours really at all. So I'm happy to propose that for supporting. Second, all those in favour? It's the old Gannell Road when you go down there, opposite the car park. Yeah, they used to flood on a regular basis.
The location plan will shed a bit more light on it. Let's just come out slightly. Yeah, so there's our
Guys, actually you chattering away, it's quite distracting.
location.
Picking it up.
Yeah, so you've got this little cul-de-sac here that comes off the Gannell Road, which accommodates 4 properties: Phoenix Rise, River Edge, which is our application property, Endeavour and Gwell and Gannell. Okay, well, I've got a street view here. It's not brilliant, but it gives you a reasonable idea of the territory, if you like. So this is this cul-de-sac for 4 properties. As you can see, there are many other properties around as well. We don't get a brilliant view of Riverside because there's this one here behind all the, what would these be called? Flowers?
Oh,
We'll just call them flowers, purple flowers. So it's the
yes, they're osteospermum.
There you go. The attention to detail is important in planning, I think. So there you go. It's your behind the purple flowers. That's the property in question. It is right opposite the car park, and there is reference made to the car park as part of the application. Okay, I point out at this moment that we're not aware of any comments having been returned for this.
What if they know? What if the neighbours...
It's a planning permission. It's not... We have frequently encountered householder applications where even the next door neighbour is blissfully unaware. But a planning permission, there should be... I mean, a yellow notice, a notice that's up there, and it is the officer that puts it up. You'd think that that would be quite obvious to everybody there. So I think we have to assume that people do know. Right? It's a big leap of faith, I know, but...
Did you say...
No, I don't. No, I don't go and check.
There's no holes or anything around there, is there?
Probably the officer would pop it on there, but we're speculating.
Yeah.
I think that we have to assume that the yellow notice is up, and if they are torn down, and I mean they're quite robust. If they're torn down, people do tend to bring it to the attention of the of Cornwall Council quite quickly, because people are very protective over these things and what's happening with the neighbours.
So just
We'll just revisit that location plan.
Below Pengang Close. So yes, the noise could go straight up.
It's going to go straight up here. So this is a residential area, and they're proposing effectively to have a business in it. And small children and nurseries are very loud. There's lots of outdoor play. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the flats that's going to be impacting. Before we even start looking at anything else appropriate, like all the parents dropping off and thinking that that's not what that car park is for. Sorry, Mona. Yes, sorry, did I preempt you?
Oh, no, yeah, well, I was going to say, obviously my little granddaughter's going to Little Lambs. That's a residential area and is a residential house that's been turned into a nursery. But it was the parking, because when everybody comes to pick up their little one, where are they going to park? And
They actually say they're going to use our car park, which I think is a bit of a cheek.
Yeah,
That's what they say.
And that's the thing. And most of the time that car park is full.
So it would be
You
very...
know, and this road is prone to flooding.
Yes.
With a good high tide, and so how are parents going to pick up their dilly beloveds if that coincides? And then using the car park as well. I think.
I mean, they haven't asked our permission for that.
No. And I mean, the entrances and exits for the car park are tight at the best of times.
Very tight.
And how then stand.
And there as well, you can only, going into that car park, you can only come in from this end and out that end. Because if you try and do it the other way round, you just can't get out. Because you can't turn. So, yeah, not if you've got a big car like I've got. So, you know, I think...
My concern is if there's bad weather, how much room is there in this garage? Because, I mean, if you've got a lot of children, they're not going to have a lot of room.
Well, we will get to that.
On about is it's not central. It's not central Newquay and Pentar. It's actually Trinance.
Yeah.
I do apologise. Yeah, that happens from time to time. It's probably my mistake, and I do apologise for that.
It's just, is there any, just trying to be, see their point of view, is there any way they can go up the lane and turn the car around and then come back, or is that a shared drive? It's a shared going to the property.
Well, you see, that's not our issue, because
No.
we've got no say on that. That's them to negotiate with their neighbours.
Right. It doesn't look quite tight though. It doesn't look as if a car could go up, drop off their little ones, turn the car around, come back.
Using our car park and then walking across that lane.
To open the design and access statement, just so that we can all be happy with what they're saying about the parking arrangements. For some reason it doesn't appear to want to open, which really isn't very helpful. What's going on with that? Oh, right, I see. There we go. Click yes, right. Highway. Right. Please don't do that again. Right. View. 100%. So in terms of access, they're talking about the visibility display, which is you know, it looks quite straightforward.
Maximum 12 children.
Yeah, we'll get on.
That's 12 vehicles though, isn't it?
Maybe there might have been a there's a transport and parking statement.
I've certainly seen that.
Yeah, I think it would be useful for us to be certain about this. Here we go. Drop off.
I love this way there will be encouraged. It doesn't work like that.
So certain I saw something that said that.
I've seen, when I read it, I remember thinking, oh,
yeah, quite possibly is. I'll just have a note, so it's definitely isn't that one. Do you know which one? Kathleen?
Go back to your list.
The design and access statement.
On the files.
Right. So we will find
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, no, it is.
My energy saver's on. It's not charging.
Sorry, we're transport and parking statement, and then a parking statement. Sorry, you can see where it comes from. At last, the Gannell car park is ideally suited to facilitate the pick-up and drop-off of children without causing disruption to neighbours. That's the line that we were looking for.
The Gannell car park has been designed exclusively for the proposed
Yeah, happy for me to,
Yeah, keep going.
yeah, keep going, yeah.
Yeah. Have a look at the plan of the garage.
Can I just say one thing about this parking? Can I just make a comment before we move on?
Yes, but yeah, pretty much.
So a public car park is a car park for the public. So it doesn't mean that it excludes any access or any usage of anything.
Actually, it does. Because they have barriers, do they not, permanently down?
Slight barriers there.
So parents with people carriers cannot use it.
Yeah, okay, with the height barrier, yeah, sure.
But yeah, otherwise, it's just surprising for them to announce that they're going to use a public car park to
Unfortunately, we just can't see it due to the, from the street view.
The kids will be playing out front, but not out.
No.
No, they're going to be at the back, which is unusual because obviously the garage is at the front, and then this rear garden is the area that they say rear garden several times. So I'm assuming it's this area where it says River's Edge here.
It's a double garage for anyone that doesn't know.
Existing, it's just the application area, if you like, the what is currently a double garage, as Nick said, domestic storage it is referred to as, and it has an up and over garage door. I'm assuming 4.2 metres would be the width of it.
So I presume that door at the top goes into the building.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, I think. Yeah, it would have to.
Yeah, it would have to. Yeah, right, okay.
Yeah.
Even though the drawing that they've done is a different shape to what they've got on here. Yeah.
So
That's a square.
Our proposed floor plan then, replacing the up and overs with bifold doors. I'm assuming that they'll be glazed. I didn't pick up any detail. It might be in the application, but I didn't pick up any detail to say whether they would or wouldn't be. But I assume that that's glazed, and yeah, creating an enclosed space within the with the garage. It's a WC and wash hand basin. Regarding the outdoor learning area, as it's referred to, the existing enclosed rear garden, the application says, will be used as a supervised outdoor learning environment. Outdoor activities will be managed through a structured timetable comprising 3 supervised 1-hour sessions in a day with a maximum of 3 hours of outdoor use in total. The remaining periods will consist of indoor educational activities. The outdoor area will not be available for unrestricted access through the day. We've got a maximum capacity of up to 12 and an age range of 3 to 5. Proposed hours of operation, which are obviously quite important, are 7:30 a.m. till 6 p.m. And it does give the caveat that's to be agreed with Cornwall Council and Ofsted. They also say there'd be no evening, overnight, weekend or bank holiday operation proposed in this application. There is a residential amenity statement that deals with various issues, including noise from the use of the garden. I will bring that up quickly. Where is that residential amenity? I'll just make that slightly larger. So it says noise generated by children during supervised outdoor learning is recognised as a normal characteristic of early years education. However, the modest scale of the proposal, together with the limited duration of outdoor sessions, will ensure that any increase in noise remains limited and does not result in unacceptable harm to neighbouring residential amenity. And then they've got a list of mitigation measures there: supervision by staff, no amplified music, no mechanical or powered outdoor equipment, the current boundary treatment, boundary fencing and landscaping would remain, and it says behaviour management as part of normal nursery operation.
Is this square meterage of the garage?
No, that's the door.
I've got a whole list of issues.
Should be 27.6 metres square metres for 12 children. I've just looked it up. 0.6 square metres according to...
Can you do AI to see how many toilets you need for 12 children?
Oh, I've just used AI to get that.
One toilet for 12 children at the moment, let alone staff. There's no windows.
We'll have another try.
And the folding doors, I think, are completely inappropriate.
Yeah.
And normally, as far as I'm aware, the nurseries have double doors, so a child just can't go dashing out the door. And thought in the middle of winter to actually get in, that you've got to fold up 2 doors and let all the elements in is nuts.
I'm presuming, sorry.
For a preschool with 12 children.
If you could do.
2.
2.
2 and 2 wash hand basins.
And gender each?
No, it just says for 12 preschool children, standard early years, and school regular. Do you want me to put the thing on? For 12 preschool children, standard early years, and school regulation generally require 2 toilets and 2 wash hand basins calculated as the ratio of 1 toilet for every 10 children or part thereof.
And I presume there needs to be a separate area with
1 toilet for every 10 children, so it's 1 per, so it's 2. For 12, you would round up, it says, 2 toilets, 2 wash basins. I just don't think that garage is big enough, is it? How much?
It's bigger than you think it is. It's a dumb.
Quick question to put Duncan on the spot. Apologies in advance. Is there anything in the documentation that talks about the access between the indoor learning area, aka garage, and the outdoor learning area? So there's no route through. They don't know how they get there. How do they get from the garage to the
We
garden?
aren't told if they're going out the bifold doors and down the side, or if they traipse through the house. I can't see anything there that says that.
totally inappropriate.
couldn't see any windows, so in a heat wave, how are these children going to breathe?
Did they give a front elevation at all?
Bifold doors.
It could be extra.
Bearing in mind how near they are to the
No,
gate.
they've not provided an elevation, and I think, as we sort of established earlier, they have said, oh, there wouldn't really be any change to the appearance of the building. I'm assuming that's why there's no elevations to accompany it. And like I said, I don't know if that window is. I don't know. I mean, it might say. Do we want to have a look at the materials?
I mean, that folding door. I mean, that's just inappropriate, isn't it? And as for a fire, is that a fire exit door as well? That's not appropriate, is it?
So we have concerns about whether they are meeting the standards required of a nursery for 12 children 3 to 5.
Yeah.
And then we get the planning officer sort that one out.
Yeah.
I also have concerns about the effect on the adjacent neighbours in Pengallen Close for children playing. Because I remember the problems we've had up at so there's a children's nursery somewhere or other, and that's called. It's still they have a lot of good.
One on finance.
It's not
Kevin was very involved in that.
Yeah.
A lot of residents complained to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's a very, we need to be quite clear about the noise that might affect neighbours.
Yeah, I mean, there is a huge amount
'Cause
of
it's-
noise. I mean, the one that was suggested to Truro College, you know.
I just think it's wholly inappropriate, really, for that building. I would like to say that trying to do a provision of care for children is a great idea, but this particular premises is wholly inappropriate. I mean, bifolding doors onto what is the existing driveway, as far as I can see, wholly inappropriate. It's far too small for 12 children. The noise, no windows. How do they get from the front of the bifold doors to the back garden without the parking, the noise? I'm gearing up for suggesting to object to this safeguarding issues.
Particularly unsafe being so close to the gate.
Which is a road that can flood.
It's wholly inappropriate, really.
Can you add, Duncan, please, that I'm concerned about the how secure the property is for a child that can get from the building into the property. There's been no provision for gate security and stuff like that. So if a child gets out of the domestic storage unit, shall we say, you've got the wrong one. Squeeze, that's what I meant. If they squeeze through bifolds, then there's no provision for securing the gate before the road and before the Gannon. So.
The only one thing they do have is they have actually got a gate that opens and shuts. Yeah, it's quite a big one. It's on that side. Yeah, there it is.
There will be a building control issue here as well.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, there needs to be skylights and all sorts of ventilation put in and windows.
No, keep me busy for most of tomorrow afternoon. Thank you.
Oh, seconding.
I'm not going to go through that list again. I think we've captured pretty much everything there. Okay.
So this is the classic annex to a separate address. So this is what we normally put in for annexes that people, so hence it being Duncan.
So
They had to leave.
I have a
The
friend who lives in the second block, and they've all been asked to leave because the actual flats are unsafe.
Grenfell Tower site.
In the second block. I think it's Aqua. There's flats at the front and the one behind. She lives there and been given notice.
I think you need.
Well, that's not. I mean, it is up to you, but I would say it's a matter of what the public perception would be.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thinking that I might have as well.
I'm just giving some feedback on the situation
Yeah.
with the existing flats.
If it's the Iverdale, then that's not a
No,
problem.
is it the one next to the Ivy?
It is, yes.
Oh, I've got to go as well then, because I've got one in there as well.
Yeah, if in doubt, absolutely. I wondered, when I saw this, I wondered if they'd taken the opportunity, with the place being empty, for them to do some works, which is quite likely. It really is right down the bottom. So yeah, so what we're looking at here then, location plan. So in red, you've got the application site. So it's this access down the side of the aqua blue, and then right at the very back, it's actually part of St Anne's Road that runs along the back, although really it is a dusty, dirty old track. And then the blue is obviously in the ownership of the applicant.
Can I just say it's.
I'm just going by the street view. Right, okay, yeah, sorry, I very much stand corrected on that. We do have we have a front street view. There is a rear view as well, but I don't think there's much point, is there? So yeah, aqua blue. Yeah, so that's aqua blue as seen from Henry Road, Ivydale next door.
The access will be behind that red car.
That's no, the access, as shown here, the access is very much off Henry Road.
Yeah.
Presumably it's because there's a boundary treatment at the end here, and probably the space is quite tight, so there probably wouldn't be room for anybody to park anyway down that end. Where are we then? Site, again, I've not seen any comments associated with this one. No. Site plans. Existing and proposed. Right, I'll just, let's see, what did I say? I'm going to zoom in quite a bit here, just so that we can get the detail of it. There, that will do. Okay, so that's your existing site plan at the rear of the aqua blue apartments. You've got.
It doesn't say what that is, does it?
Yeah, we know what it is. Yeah.
We do, yeah. I think it's currently a gym, sauna, kind of that sort of thing, serving the property, and there's some wooden decking out the back. So this really is just the footprint. We'll have a look at the floor plans. We'll add more detail in a minute, but this is just to get an idea of the footprint, yeah, the change in footprint. So that's your existing, and that's your proposed. And you'll see from the, yeah, so the arrows are quite important. If you refer back to the description, you've got a proposed new apartment, which my understanding is that they're taking a building that has a use at the moment. I think it's a gym and sauna, if I remember rightly, and they're turning that into an apartment. And then, yeah, so that's the part of the application that says conversion of existing ancillary accommodation. So that's that top one, and then the bottom one is the proposed single-storey extension to provide self-contained dwelling. So you've got conversion and a new dwelling. So you're going.
They're proposing two properties, is that?
Yep. Two dwelling units.
What a huge amount of amenities.
Couple of elevations that do show that. I'm not 100% certain what we're looking at, to be honest, but we'll bring those up now.
Why do they keep having doubling site plans?
Oh, Joanna, there's 31 applications associated with this, and I've had to sit down and sieve through and find eventually I just found the most recent ones, and I don't know why there was so many. Seeded, I think is the term that I would use. I was sort of surprised to see so many on there, because it certainly isn't a 31 document application, but there were 31 documents there, and I had to go through them all, and I was tearing my hair out by the end of it trying to find which ones to show you and which ones not. It's just like you got three sets of each elevation, and it was just like, what do I show? Anyway, enough of my woes. So, we are looking at, top drawing is the,
The roadside.
yeah,
Yeah.
the roadside, the front elevation.
It's quite attractive, doesn't it?
And,
Like that. It's a bit
yeah.
Spanish.
Reasonable,
Yeah.
And there are no changes there. And this side one that's the side facing the Ivydale. So the proposed for that, again, no change at the front, but you can see the addition at, this is the rear of the building. The tall bit is the front, the less tall bit is the back. So you go.
So the back, there are doors. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 doors then for that building.
The only point I'd make is that we have encountered this sort of thing before, and we have been told, well, that's a building control issue.
Right, okay.
So it's up to you how much you want to focus on it.
Yeah, okay.
But
No,
and the officers do
it's a
so.
point of concern.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'll mention fire escapes in
And
any.
these
One thing up now before we go any further, and that is that we're told that the proposed self-contained dwelling, apartment 6, which is currently a gym and sauna, provides approximately 30 metres squared of internal floor area. The minimum space standard, and this is the absolute minimum, would require 37. So it does fall quite short, yeah. I'll show you the proposed floor plan quickly. I'll show you the proposed floor plan. So this one here, let's make that a bit bigger, shall we? This one here is apartment 6, gym, sauna, etc. currently, and yeah, the DNA statement tells us that that is 30 metres square floor space. Apartment 7, so this is the single storey self-contained that they refer to, the new build, if you like, is it's not that much bigger, but I think it probably it might scrape across the line. We could, and I don't think that we're actually given the floor space for that, but we are for number 6, and it doesn't meet the threshold.
and there's one window and
I think that that's internal alteration. So it could be a stud wall, something like that, because obviously it's just an open space at the moment. No, that can't be right, can it? It's I mean, these red lines, I can't see any key that tells us. Ah, right, there you go. Yeah, that goes. So they are existing internal walls that are going to be taken down. So it's very open plan, in other words. Is staying open. I think that's a sliding door. That aperture is staying there, and it looks like it's glazed. So rather than having doors like that, I think that they're going to have a sliding door arrangement, which would be glass.
So
From parking, the documents say that there's no changes proposed to the parking here. I went back and had a look. The 2009 application stated that there would be 14 car parking spaces for 16 one-bedroom apartments, and there are no changes proposed. So
at the moment, there's talk on parking issue there already.
They might say because it is so sustainable that they don't need, because they can walk to Chester Road, so they got shopping.
Sorry, my laptop, it's not charging, so it's going to die probably soon. This is complete overdevelopment of the site. It's sort of.
Well, there's no amenity space.
There is
There's insufficient amenity space. There is. It doesn't meet national space standards.
Yeah.
Do either of them meet national space standards?
Don't know the size of apartment 7.
yeah.
But looking at it, if you think that's a square, it's going to be tight.
Yeah.
I think.
But apartment 6, it definitely doesn't meet space standards.
And I think there is a light minimum as well. I'm sure it is. Where's that next
Was that you?
Why can't you learn to turn?
It was off.
So that sound that sounded like the nuclear war was coming from his phone.
Coming for Nick.
No, it's my area. Okay, so I'm happy to propose objection on the basis that it doesn't meet space, one of them doesn't meet space standards, that we got concerns about the living accommodation that is provided in terms of windows, and there is very limited amenity space, and there is currently inadequate parking for the existing flats, so this is just going to make the situation worse.
I don't know in terms of, is there a waste and recycling statement? Is there a runoff water statement? I know there's a whole pile of documents there, but the concerns of.
There's so little amenity space, where are the bins going to go?
And also in terms of security and lighting at the back there for people living there, we don't know. It could easily be a dead end.
So yeah, I mean,
It's just there's a whole list of.
they went for just one.
So is there a seconder for that?
Yeah, all those in favour.
Did you want me to include the comment about fire escapes?
Yeah, in terms of fire escapes for the buildings, in terms of what that access is.
Waste management.
Waste management, drainage as well, and also construction. where's the construction management plan for getting down that single zone for building materials? In terms of access and everything.
Seeing as I went and hunted it out, I will quickly show you, although I understand that it's changed a lot, but I will show you that rear view anyway. As you see, it's a tiny space.
It's tiny.
It really is. I mean, I can't even see how that's going to fit in there. I'm guessing that the boundary has changed a bit.
Yeah, I mean, that's totally different now. There's old houses along there and it's tarmac. And,
Right, okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's...
No, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And it's tight driving around the back anyway.
Anyway, we've done that, we've voted, haven't we? So
Yeah.
Is the next one
Right.
the one I have to go out?
It is.
It is the
Yeah.
one,
Do I
yeah.
have a sheet on?
Sorry about that.
absolutely no way. That thing was quite right. I thought the wall was coming around.
Yeah, because Nick, you can need to sign sheets as well.
Yes.
Right, application 5 then, PA26/05333. The 3 trees, 21 Carmino Way, change of use from hotel to large HMO in accordance with existing HMO licence, granted back in 2023. So basically this has had a licence and has been operating as an HMO, but they don't talk to planning and obviously didn't realise that they needed planning permission to become change of use to an HMO, even though it's licensed. So it's a bit of being licensed for a pub without having planning permission to change its usage from residential to a drinking establishment. So, and there's been no complaints or anything with this.
It was actually a public comment in support.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I didn't print it out. I just thought I'd save the paper really because it was just quite a sort of basic public comment in support. So yeah, similar area of town. I'll race through this very quickly for you. There's your again, we've got a blue and a red line site. The blue is sort of kind of to the rear off the street. Have a look at the street view. There it is, yeah. So the property in question has been operating as a large HMO, which is 6+. Licensed as such by Cornwall Council since September 2023. The property benefits from 6 parking spaces, waste collection arrangements with Biffa Municipal Limited, a total of 6 beds, mainly spread over first and second floor, main habitable rooms situated at ground floor level. Obviously, as Sarah said, retrospective application. We've seen a few of these recently. I wonder if planning and the HMO team might have started talking to each other and sort of going around and getting them together. So we don't really know why it's, it just sounds like 2 Cornwall Council departments possibly not having communicated with each other. The change of use is from C1 hotels to sui generis of its own class, which is what HMOs fits, large HMOs fit into. So there you go. That's your application.
Any questions, anyone?
Just checking, is there any more in that area?
It's already been operating.
I know.
It's already licensed as.
I know, but is there any more in that? There's a reason why I'm asking that. It's about the percentage on the road.
Yes, I know it's the percentage on the road.
So
I don't
is
know.
there any more in that area that we know
Don't
of?
know. No, I don't know.
It's not an area. Yeah.
It's not a major area.
I don't think that there are, but I couldn't actually demonstrate that. The reason I don't think that there are is just, I know the area reasonably well, and I can't think of any that are there. The dense places are, like kind of Mount Wise, Edgecombe Avenue, that kind of part of town.
I can't see any reason
No.
why we just say no objection because
No
it's
objection.
retrospective.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
It's been operating without complaints.
I'll second that. All those in favour, no objection. Yeah.
This is a point of dragging it out.
Brilliant, thank you.
Need to go and get Joe.
Joe! There he is.
Yeah.
Marvellous.
If you wanted to object, you should have done it.
Right, terms of reference. Not this meeting?
No, I don't think that we need to change them. There was I'll very quickly go over this. There was it was found out that whilst we had signed up, I think it was in 2016, something like that, I don't know, we'd signed up to the calc protocol that said we wouldn't have behind closed doors conversations with developers and applicants.
Sorry, hang on, but Karen, do you know what CALC is? No. No, there we go. Can you say
Cornwall Association of Local Councils, who they kind of act as a bit of a bridge between people like us and Cornwall Council.
We pay membership for that, so
Yeah.
a lot of the training that you've done is done by CALC. So it's a term that, sorry, Lamorne, I don't know if you knew
Really
what
useful
CALC was or
resource.
not.
So this protocol whereby towns and parishes don't have behind closed doors conversations with developers, everything open, transparent, was something that this council signed up to. It was never ratified by full council, and so there was some concern at this. The matter was raised when we had, I think, 2 consecutive meetings with people. There's Tregunwell Hill and then the Aldi one, which weren't open to the public. And so some concern was raised about that. But it turns out that that registration was never ratified by full council, went to full council. But our terms of reference say that we've got the 5:30 slot, but they never made, the terms of reference never made reference to having signed up to the protocol. Did a bit of research. The protocol was thrown in the bin after. We're still on a list, but it was kind of at the bottom of a filing cabinet, and it was given up on after 18 months because it wasn't seen that there was any worth to it. Anyway, there is now on Cornwall Council's website guidance and, more importantly, an expectation that parishes don't have behind closed doors conversations. We've got our 5:30 slot in. There's an expectation on the part of Cornwall Council. It's up to you, obviously, and we can look at it another day, but I don't really think we need to change our terms of reference.
What I hadn't realised was the last 2 we'd done, they came in and said, we won't give it to you unless you do it behind closed doors. Is that roughly what happened? Because our preference, obviously, is to have them on Facebook so people can actually look at them.
Yeah.
But if they won't come and if that is a condition of their communicating with us, we don't have anything to say that's not right.
I wasn't. We have that expectation. You could recommend full council.
We tend to ask people whether they're okay with it, and they usually say
yes.
Absolutely,
yeah.
But it's
Whenever I'm
absolutely
involved
fair
with them,
enough
I do.
for them
But
to say.
I must admit, I wasn't really involved with those
No.
2, so I can't really comment on them.
Can't remember the previous. Oh yes, I remember the
Tregunwell,
Tregunwell. Yeah. So I understand why that one was private, but yes. So we normally would expect it, but we don't want to cut off our nose to spite our face. And if somebody says we will only do this in confidence, I don't think we've got a lot of
I
choice.
suggest that you consider it carefully before you said yes to something like that.
Yeah.
But yes. So I don't believe it was suggested that we might need to change our terms of reference. We don't.
Oh, okay, so that was just for terms for noting, wasn't it? Karen? Yeah.
I'm slightly unsure about that, really. I don't think we should be able to, or a developer should be able to say, well, I'm only going to discuss this if we do it by closed doors.
Well, that's what the Cornwall Council is saying. That's their recommendation, that that there shouldn't be any behind closed doors meeting.
Right.
And so I think in the future then we need to discuss what that we do with it.
It was silly because everybody knew about it anyway.
Exactly.
It was so absolutely out in the public realm. I don't know why they.
But I think if it's the terms of reference, then it's important that we.
It never got ratified, and Culk
Right.
then got rid of it because Cornwall Council they then put in
So can
their
we bring it
expectation.
back so that it does get ratified?
Because what we'd done was signed up to a register of town and parish councils. They decided that there was no worth in that register. It didn't mean anything after some 18 months after we'd signed up. So in actual fact, what I've been telling people for the past 8 years is actually complete rubbish. I've been saying to all of you and and new councillors, we're signed up to this protocol. And in actual fact, we were that signing up to the protocol is long gone. So so we all learned something from this. But as I say, and it's not, I wouldn't say it's a recommendation, I'd say it's an expectation.
Right.
So we still do have the possibility to see people behind closed doors, but there is an expectation that we don't.
Right, okay. As and when it happens in the future. Right, community governance review.
10 to 8.
I know, I'm looking at the time as well.
I think where we are is we have to send something in at the beginning of September, don't we?
Yeah, so...
And we make a recommendation to full council on the 3rd.
Yeah, so that's what we need to do today. A recommendation that we engage with the boundary review, this mini boundary review.
And we recommend that
these are the
recommendation by the original boundary panel in Cornwall Council is now implemented. Subject to obviously the changes that had taken place.
Yeah.
Because we did get a partial change, but it's basically bringing the boundary down to the road. And when you look at the diagrams, it just doesn't make sense what we've got at the
So
moment.
we've got the next full planning, because it needs to go through planning is, the full council meeting is on the 2nd, September the 2nd, Wednesday. We've got planning on the 1st, but they need to have it by...
Yeah, so the recommendation is...
We have to do it now.
We
You have to do it now, but it still needs to go in full planning. So, I mean, I'm happy to go with those recommendations if and proposing them.
So that we take part in Cornwall Council's
Yeah.
boundary review. If there's a better terminology for that, I'll use better terminology. And that we are suggesting the maps that we looked at in the last meeting.
With those bumps signed out. Propose that.
Those two little bumps signed out?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just one.
And seconder? Yeah, all those in favour? Brilliant, thank you. Do you want to turn your microphone off? Oh, can I just propose an extension till, oh God, I'll say 8:30. We should be well done before then. I'll be quite, right, seconder? All those in favour? You need to go, yeah.
Yeah, I can't extend, unfortunately. I've got a job at Apostate.
Do you want to go now? Is that a convenient moment? That might be easier. Marvellous, thank you, Nick. Cheers, Nick, thank you.
I won't be at the next meeting, it's Tuesday.
Yeah. Reports from working parties.
Derelict buildings is nothing to report.
Don't put your microphone on.
Derelict buildings, nothing to report. Our next meeting is on the 9th of September. The cliff, the cliff development, our next meeting is, I've just got a conflict. I think it's the end of August, isn't it? So we are progressing.
Where's my pen go?
The development with Cornwall Council to have a coastal change management plan to go with our area. They've made an application for grant funding.
Yeah,
We haven't yet.
And then we should know results from their application for the
We
next
think,
meeting, wouldn't
we
we?
think at the next meeting they will tell us. They are quite optimistic that we get it. We've already got some funding from the remains of a plan that was done in Bude. So if we get our funding, then that will be a very interesting exercise. And we will probably be one of the very first management plans in the UK.
Should we pencil in a date for a sort of a proper update for this once everything's been decided? Is that useful or not? To add that to an agenda for a forthcoming meeting?
Well, our next meeting. This meeting is actually the 7th of September, where we have a report back on whether we've actually, they're hoping that they will have had a response by them.
Later.
Yeah, sure.
So
if we don't get it, then it cuts it down, doesn't it, really? As to,
Yeah, we can decide.
But effectively, the next meeting we report at is on the 16th. So if we get any interesting news.
Yeah, let me know about a week before.
Yeah, yeah.
Stick it on the, if you want to report back.
Yeah.
We should. Maybe stick it on that agenda.
And the other one is the I forgot what is it called? Neighbourhood priority statement. Where are we on that, Duncan? She says hopefully.
I'm just thinking that I've got that as the next meeting on the 9th of September as well. 10 o'clock to 11:30, is that right? No, that's Saints Coast Camp Neighbourhood Priority Statement Strawberry Session.
No, I think that's just a public. We listened to a presentation on it. From the looks of it, we can just. It's a short document, but they're now no longer limiting it. So I mean, they say 16 pages. But effectively, I think what we can do is we can go through the neighbourhood plan, pick up all the key issues that we have: parking, cliffs, design, shopfront, and then have a series of appendices. So, for instance, we've got our design document, which is the nuclear character study. Probably need to look at it to see if anything's been updated with an extra development. The main thing is ensuring that we are liaising with the community. Engaging, and we've got. You couldn't make that meeting, could you? We've got the steering group. We've got about four or five councillors who've shown an interest. I think you have, haven't you, Sandy? So 4 or 5 councillors, the basis of the steering group, and then anybody else we want to ask from the community, like someone from the Duchy, someone from the residents' associations, to make that the steering group. And we'll probably have a sort of little working party who do all the grunt work below that.
I thought I had to express an interest in that, but was there one?
I think you have, but you couldn't make the training session.
Yeah, so I couldn't make the training session.
So Joanna and I had to sit down. As I say, engagement is at the heart of a lot of the neighbourhood priority statement stuff. So we're going to, what we were looking to do was kick-start it at the summer finale.
Yes.
On the Killer Court. We've spoken to one of our events officers. It's been very helpful. We can have a presence there. We were talking about maybe having 10 priorities set out on a board, and maybe people. You know, it's quite simple this, but it kick-starts it. Maybe people could have three red dot stickers and say, right, out of these 10, which ones do you prefer? Which ones would you prioritise? But we were going to try and have a meeting of everybody who could be involved in that, maybe about a week before. So that's for me to organise, and I probably need to organise that this week to give people enough notice.
I did send round asking for volunteers. I know, Lamorna, you couldn't make it because you're playing Euro, but there's any. It's basically it's the finale to the last Killer Court event. It's a good opportunity to have a stand and come along, stick your red stickers on. They usually respond quite well.
Than tourists.
Yeah.
Could I say as well that
Message to say, is she doing anything? Because it'd be really good if she had our couple with a counsellor and us, so that we could have a constant covering over the house. She hasn't come back to me on that. But,
well, she was planning something for September the 5th, but I'm sure she would be...
yeah, she hasn't. I've sent her an email. She hasn't come back to me on that. But I'm hoping that the two will coincide. So effectively, she'll be wanting a counsellor rota, and we can use the same counsellor rota to do put your sticker on a flip chart.
So the actual. No purchases made.
Anything about parking, we've got a freedom of information which all of you should have a go at, because it's very, very interesting, some of the results. There was a difference between what was being reported to Cornwall Council and what was being reported to us, and the difference is that, apparently, they decided, I can't remember, I think the VAT is included on the one they sent to you, but not on the one they provided to Cornwall Council, which is odd because they didn't do that the previous year. But that's the difference between it. So the actual, I didn't know it was either, but I think it's that. So effectively it is quite interesting, not only because they're telling you the amounts, which is a lot, although we aren't number one, Truro is number one, we are number two. 2.5, well, with that, £2.5 million is huge amount of money we generate. It's quite interesting to seeing the sale of the different types of tickets and the difference between some years and others. And I'm particularly interested, of course, on Tregonwell Hill.
Just as a thing about parking, in my business, I had 2 people come in saying that even the car parks during Boardmasters were completely full. They had nowhere to park, and they wanted to park so that they could actually have a meal and enjoy their time in Newquay. And because there was nowhere to park, they had to leave Newquay.
Yes.
That's how bad it is. Boardmasters, I have never known parking like it during that week. Absolutely rammed everywhere. And the Tregonwell Hill, even that car park, full. Full. So just as an aside, it's something that's
It's
really...
quite welcome how busy Newquay was, because last year they said don't go to Newquay because of Boardmasters. I mean, I was in over the weekend and it was great. I mean, there were lots of people.
Yeah. Parking is a huge issue.
Yes, we don't have enough parking to meet the demand, so we certainly don't want to lose any.
Is the parking ride in operation?
It doesn't seem to work.
Doesn't work. Well, we
used for that. We're not certain if the neighbourhood priority statement is going to cost us money or not. I had a chat with Anne literally about half an hour before this meeting. She thinks that the neighbourhood priority statement is neighbourhood plan adjacent. So I don't think that, I think that we will be able to dip into that if we needed to. It might be that we don't at all, but she suggested that the two were so similar that we could dip into it if we needed to.
If we were doing a house-to-house, we would need someone to design a document, and if you decide to post it off, it would cost a complete fortune. So even sort of hand delivery is quite expensive. We have the money to do that, but we really don't have the money to do a full consultation thing, which is why we are sort of concentrating. It's rather like we did with the Fish Festival. We start communicating with people at the Killer Court, pick up their ideas. That's at least a start. But we can use all the evidence we gathered for the Newquay Neighbourhood Plan. I mean, I know it's 6 years ago, but it's still really, I think it's still relevant.
Sorry. Other correspondence then. So we've got the Watergate Bay Sprint in March 2027. So they're changing the time of year. It used to be in September when they closed the road down to Watergate again. But they're changing where they're basing it, but they're still closing the road down. But this is, they have to consult the public. Yeah. Duncan, yeah.
So right, yeah, so the sentence that I picked up on from John Collins, who's the chairman of Watergate Bay Motorsport, I think this is the first year that we've dealt with Mr. Collins as the chair. He said in this paragraph, just in the middle of the screen there, we would like to hold a public engagement meeting in early September. I think they did this last year as well, and maybe in previous years. We'd like to hold a public engagement meeting in early September and would like for you to discuss this and pick a suitable location.
No, it's not our role to pick other people's locations.
No, I think this stems from, not, it may have been last year, it may have been the year before, that the engagement event was held at Wax, which is a long way away from the people who were affected. And to be honest, a lot of people, including John Fitter, were incandescent about it.
Because Wax is a supporter of it, they're a sponsor for the event. So they had it in Wax at Watergate. And then the last time that they did it, they had a consultation at Morganporth Village Hall. So it is not our responsibility to decide and discuss where somebody should be having a consultation for the public to be meeting. Joe?
No, it's not just our not our responsibility. If we get engaged in picking that, then we become an interested party. We just can't go anywhere near it.
No.
A lot of criticism. No. I mean, it was suggested. I think you've got two options here, and it's up to you to instruct me what you would like to do, or you can instruct me what you want to do. I can go back to him and say that we don't feel that we that we should be, as you say, suggesting. Sorry, pointing them, choosing their location. We want to keep that distance from the whole thing, or you may like to say there are some village halls or other premises there, and you choose.
So if we don't point them anywhere near anything.
No. It's just
It's your decision entirely.
Well, that's my view. Don't go anywhere near it.
Yes, that it's not our role to do this, to advise or anything like that in terms of
That's
Yeah. So you would like me to go back to him, right? email him back
Do we
and
need-
just
do-
and just say, yeah,
Yeah. Do you need us to vote on
I
that?
think so, yeah.
Okay, so I'm proposing that we notify Mr Collins that we're not in a position to support him with anything of this. Right, second, all those in favour? There we go. Yeah, brilliant. So, and I think the last one then is decisions, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm just flicking through them. It is quite interesting. It got refused. The one at 7 Shyline Crescent got refused. And what's been withdrawn? That land northwest of Trevivick Manor, between the A392 and Trevemper Road. I mean, for the outline planning permission for the demolition of existing structures and site development to provide up to 330 residential units, restaurant, public house, hotel, open space, play space, and new routing for the A392 to Trevemper Road. That's been withdrawn. Yeah. Yeah, probably. Other things have been approved. Right. So Joanna.
Just one other issue to raise, if I can.
Yeah.
We've got a new MPPF on the 17th of August. I don't know if you're all aware of it. Cornwall Council are telling us that they're going to do...
Yes, yeah.
We've got a new MPPF on the 17th of August.
Do you want to say what that is?
National Planning Policy Framework.
Right.
I'm looking at it. I saw a press report saying that the assumption, the tilted balance is changing so that if someone is within walking distance of a station, you can assume that they will get planning permission if they put in for housing. I don't know what they count as walking distance from the station, but I would have thought most of Newquay, which is probably within 3 or 4 miles.
Well, if it's a secondary school for walking as opposed to getting a taxi, it's 3 miles.
Yes, so that's what I was thinking. So effectively, we won't be in a position from this. But anyway, the Cornwall Council will do a quick survey and come in with the differences and say what the effects are. But I suspect it means that we'll have even less opportunity to object to unsuitable housing.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's not going to appeal if it's 9 houses or less. It's just down to planning officer. So if we do have an issue for housing, we have to really be spot on with everything that we have a difficulty with. Yeah.
So that's a more tilted balance.
It's tilting it even more. So
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that you automatically get permission, but it does mean that, as you say, we've got to have a really good reason, like it's not meeting
national standards.
And even
for
then they
minimum,
might come back and say, well, it's only a grotty little flat and people like grotty little flats.
Yeah.
What I'm interested in is things like the infrastructure for housing development.
Yeah.
You know,
And with a couple of thousand more
is
houses, we
water
ought to have
is a
more
huge
doctors.
concern.
Yeah.
You know, where we haven't built in this country, I read the other day, a reservoir since 1989.
40 years, yeah, 40 years since.
A new reservoir, but all these houses are being built with, you know, how are we going to...
Yeah.
Funnily enough, that's the one thing we did do. We started to use the Port Reservoir, was it 2 years ago?
Well, the river coming from it, yes.
Yeah.
They don't know.
And
But in this weather, then it's going to get too low.
The problem with the water is not so much what's in the reservoirs, because they've got buckets of water over the winter. It's the fact that they haven't got the filtration plants to provide to meet the demand. You're absolutely right. I'm more worried about doctors and... There's...
How are we going to provide water?
We're...
We need more reservoirs with more distance to the station.
I mean, locally, we haven't had a new doctor surgery and we've thousands of new residents. And I mean, they pay lip service to infrastructure, but they don't do anything about it.
We're digressing here, people. Let's close. Let's close this meeting. Right, the next meeting then is on a Tuesday because full council snaffled the Wednesday, so it's Tuesday the 1st of September. Look forward to seeing you then. Cheers, everyone.